Alright, this one, I'm going to talk about this little, I had this little epiphany where it's like a Jesus. He said, I came not to bring peace, but a sword. And I'm going to set, the young against the old, and the father against the son, and the daughter-in-law against the mother-in-law, and the mother against the daughter. What I think this means is like, look, see, what Jesus did was come to set the captives free, okay? In order to have freedom, okay, that also opens the door for war. Because, look, peace, okay, say you constantly had a gun pointed at the back of your head constantly, okay? That might appear to be peace because no one's going to do anything wrong because they'll get shot in the back of the head. Now, is that really peace? Okay? You got to think about this. You got to ponder deep on this because this is real grown man content here. I mean, and it's true. It's like, he says if a man doesn't have a sword, let him sell his garment and buy a sword. There's a reason for that. That's not to go out and slay men or attack people or try to rebel even. It's just to say, listen, though I have this sword, I'm at peace inside of myself. When we can be at peace with ourselves, it opens the door to be at peace with others. And you got to get to a point where no one can take your inner peace, though they may take peace from the land by putting a gun to everyone's back of everyone's head and giving you this false peace. Peace down the barrel of a gun is not peace at all. It's like world peace. People trick you with these when they say things like that because it's part of that neural linguistics programming, okay? It's something everyone desires and it creates an extreme emotional response, and while you're caught up and enthralled in the concept of that, then they implant a little command in there, a little bait and switch. They bait you, they get you ready, they get you in a high emotional state, then they drop some little subtle subliminal command word or manipulation tactic, man. I mean, it's always attached right to it. So look, in order to have freedom, you gotta even let the antithesis be. You gotta let it live and let live is basically what I'm saying about freedom, to an extent, until a person crosses the line of I'm going to impose my will and dominate another. That's what makes war. Greed is what makes war. Fear is what makes war, dude. It's like, I'm afraid of losing all the stuff I've stole. I'm afraid of being caught. So it's all or nothing now. I mean, basically, the people that put on those shoes, I'm not speaking from experience or my personal situation, nothing like that. I'm speaking like putting myself in the position of a ruler, okay? Just thinking like, if I was a ruler, I did what they did, this is how I would have to think, because I mean, that's something I can do. I can think like other people. I can try to anyway. I can give it a shot. I can try to jump into your mind real quick. Not nothing metaphysical, or I'm not talking about like telepathy, reading your mind, but I'm saying just trying to observe you accurately and get a clear understanding of the people that I'm around, or I'm observing on television, on the news, that other people are talking about, and then what they do to people, why would you do that, etc. I mean, it's not that difficult, or it's not that strange to think that way, because this is what the FBI does. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. You profile a person, you're an egomaniac. You take that in consideration. Every one of your actions is going to be very self-oriented, like self-preservation, self-gain, make me look good. I want to be the center of attention. I mean, I've been lucky enough to grow up around so much narcissism. It's made me real good at spotting it out. You know, and I mean, these people are super narcissists. It's like, you know, like it's almost like the villains and heroes in comic books. You know, they all got their own little narcissisms and egotistical characteristics. Even, you know, it's like, you know, some villains, you know, seem to be very, it seems selfless, but at the same time, you know, some of the heroes seem very arrogant, you know, it's and proud too at the same time. You know, it's like there's all these, it's kind of like that movie, you know, Unbreakable, you know, in a way. In real life it is kind of similar. It's kind of crazy that way, but it's how it works. You know, but yeah, I had that. It's like, in order to bring freedom, it also puts people at odds with one another, because there are those, it puts those that seek freedom, true freedom and peace, it puts us at odds against the ones who seek to control and dominate and manipulate and conceal every single thing. And conceal the truth, hide the truth, lie about the truth. Like, what does it say? You buy the truth and sell it not. You know what I'm saying? This is something any person that is into the Bible should have a heavy emphasis on truth, because it's all throughout the Bible to seek out the truth, seek out a matter. It never says conceal, overlook. To forgive someone isn't to overlook necessarily, it's to address it, and then let's get past this and put it behind us. So people always bait and switch, or turn apples into oranges or oranges into apples, and they also always use this price of tea in China argument. Like the term sober-minded in the Bible, people always associate this because they got this preconceived notion that from prohibition that sobriety has something to do with drinking, when it always doesn't. A person who's walking around drunk off anger, that is not a sober-minded person. And they don't have to be on alcohol or any substance to become unsober. But when it uses the term drunkard, on the other hand, that does refer to being drinking. You know, it just means one who frequently is drunk. So, you know, I see how people do this, or they say, touch not the unclean thing, and they associate that with smoking cigarettes. When it refers to, they used to sacrifice things to pagan idols and then eat the pieces of it, and that's what an unclean thing is. And people, they always use their phony drug war propaganda and intermingle it with the Bible. I mean, you know, this is apples to oranges, oranges and apples. Call a hoe, and a spade a spade. You know what I'm saying? 2 + 2 = 4. You gotta. There is some contexts where it could be considered to an extent maybe right, but I'm telling you, you gotta know exactly what the heck you're talking about as much as possible. I mean, do some research, study a little bit, and you'll know these things. It'll be second nature to you.